Hello, it's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday the 18th of January through till Tuesday the 24th of January 2023. Actually, it's 2023. So welcome. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia. It is Wednesday the 18th of January here, and the time is exactly 8:54 a.m. So I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. The cat's here. She thinks I'm talking to her as usual. She beelines for me when she hears me start my videos, which is pretty funny because she was sound asleep snoring over in the corner. So welcome. If you are new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards that I made here. I've got two decks combined into one. The Speed of Light Oracle are the black cards, and these aquary greeny blue ones are the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. And I've made them the same size so that they can be combined together. So I've got 110 cards in this deck, which is so much fun to work with. It's so good having all these cards. I'm really looking forward to the Healing Energy cards coming. They still haven't left the port yet. They have been printed. We're waiting for news that they've left the port so we can open pre-orders, and there's quite a delay at the moment, so hoping that they will be released soon. But in the meantime, we've got these cards to play with. So I'll be using these cards to find the best cards for this week ahead for the majority of us. I'm not doing personal readings for individuals here. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time. I recommend that you take on board what feels right, what resonates, what fits into your life easily, and the things that seem like I'm personally talking to you. They're the things to really pay attention to, and let the other things go if it doesn't make sense. I'm also, when I'm listening to such things, I'm also listening to the things that I might be reacting to, like dismissing as, no, that's not true, or no, I don't believe it to be that way. I really notice the things I'm also reacting to, but that's if you want to take the connection a little deeper. Hi everybody, hi Rebna, it's lovely to see you all. Let's get started. So our theme last week, we had a pretty powerful lineup of cards last week, which was interesting actually, seeing how things panned out. We had double dragons for the weekend, and the theme card was the Twin Flame card, which talked about love and connections with other people. It also highlighted effort that we need to make in regards to connecting or reconnecting with people, individuals as well. So it was quite an interesting and different week, I think, last week. How did yours flow? So my attention is turning to this new reading week. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm asking the cards to show us, the majority of us, what we need to know for this week starting Wednesday the 18th of January through to Tuesday the 24th of January. I split the deck and I'll be laying out the cards face down for now. And so just bear with me a second. We're going to go in a bit of a circle, 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom. And we've got an even spread of cards. We've got 4 of each deck, unless there's a featured card where I'll be picking an extra. So let's turn these over, see what we've got. Okay, we've got a couple of featured cards, so let's honour those first. First of all, in the Animal Kingdom Oracle, we have 4 featured timing cards, and this is one of them. It's called Seasonal Cycle. It's card 54, and it has further instructions here which say to take the third card from the top of the deck. So I'll go back to my deck and go down to card 3, Speed of Light. The unicorn. The unicorn's pretty popular. So that will go with seasonal cycle. So I will talk about that in a minute. And then a bit later in the spread we have Medicine Pouch. That also has further instructions. This is from Speed of Light Oracle. And the further instructions here say to trust your instincts, fan the deck, and pull a card. So I'm just going to fan the deck out and just go with this card here, the Orca Whale. So that is going with the Medicine Pouch. So I'll get to that shortly. So we've still got an even balance of cards because we've pulled 2 extra, which is 1 of each. So we've actually got 10 cards out here for the week. So let's get started. Wednesday, the 18th of January, we have the Turtle, card 45, and it says slow and steady. So we might find ourselves still, and I say still because for me anyway, I've been feeling this way maybe since Sunday. A bit slow, this sort of slow energy, this plodding along, this pacing ourselves. There's no kind of rush unless something's urgent. There's a general sense of no rush at the moment, that it's okay that we bide our time, that we take our time, and that we find our slow and steady pace that works for us. So it works for us in regards to how we feel in our body, maybe what the weather's like as well. If there's things, it's been really hot. We've had some really hot days, so it's not like you feel like doing much when the weather's very hot. Out in the sun, getting sunburned, you know. And for you, maybe it's been very cold, so you've just not really felt like you can do much extra at the moment. So there is this slow and steady energy around, and it looks like it's going to continue for the most part into Wednesday. Now Thursday, we're going to look at these 2 cards plus this card for Thursday, the 19th of January. Let's look at these first. So these are featured, this is featured timing card with the unicorn. So they've come up together for a reason, and we're going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So this is card 54, seasonal cycle, and it talks about a 3-month time span, let's say. So we're looking at the middle of January through to the middle of February, middle of March, middle of April. So till around the middle of April, this energy is going to potentially be in effect from Thursday. And it's connected with the unicorn card 50. And the unicorn says psychic gifts, spiritual intuition, and trust. So this is about looking more seriously perhaps, or making time for our spiritual interests, so the things that interest us spiritually. So maybe meditation, for example. Maybe you've been saying lately that I must get back into meditation because I find it helpful and it's very connective for me, but I haven't had the time in the last few weeks or few months. So maybe this is about getting back into your meditation or some type of spiritual interest you have, some spiritual devotion that you feel aligns with you and your spirituality. So this is probably important for some of us, especially around Thursday, to look at for the next few months. So how can we start a new dedication, a regular commitment to meditating or whatever it might be that honours your spiritual devotion. Also, the unicorn is about the 3rd eye chakra. It's very highlighted here. And it's about trust. How we can trust more in our intuition over these next few months. Can you trust more in your intuition? Have you been trusting in your intuition? And have you been trusting in the decisions that you've been making and where you are in your life? Are things feeling like they're in a reasonably good flow for you right now? Or are there changes that need to be made that you might need to trust your intuition on, or trust the decisions that you need to make for these next couple of months? So really for this first sort of part of the year. So that's for Thursday. And also for Thursday we have Chakra Activate, card 7. And it says upgrade new level, initiation, and celebrate. So this is a time of celebration, especially on Thursday, but especially this is an upgrade. And for those of us connecting with the Kundalini energy, which is a surge of energy that pushes up from the base chakra, probably a couple of times a year. I've written about it on my website. If you don't know what Kundalini is, or if you'd like my thoughts on Kundalini, if you look up blog, the blog tab down, you'll find Kundalini info. The Kundalini's been pushing forward. It's sort of a couple of weeks ago, it hovered around the sacral chakra, where a lot of us were learning about patience, and I talked a bit about this last week. And then it surged up and pushed through into the solar plexus chakra, which we were learning a lot about empowerment and connecting with our power. And then the energy just pushed up very quickly in these last few days through the heart, the throat, as we had to speak up. There was a lot of direct communication required. And then we sort of went silent. And then it pushed up through the third eye chakra, through our trust issues, and then into the crown. Now, usually when the Kundalini energy pushes up through the body and gets to the crown, usually it presents a connection or separation issues. But this time it sort of stirred energy in the pineal gland, which governs the serotonin and melatonin levels in our body, and a lot of us got really sleepy as the energy pushed through here into the crown. So those of us following through with this Kundalini energy at this time, it feels like there might be this sort of breakthrough, this surge, this completion of that cycle or that surge of energy by the time we get to Thursday with this card. When I drew this is like the crown of the head, and then this energy surging up from the crown of the head. So this is like that Kundalini energy pushing out through the crown now, like a fireworks or a celebration, as we basically are getting ready to go to the next level. So it is a time to celebrate. It is a time of upgrade as well, especially on Thursday. So then Friday, the 20th of January, my light is flickering. On Friday the 20th, don't know if it's showing up, we have the pause card, card 25. It says hold, time, transition, suspension, and limbo. We might feel on Friday, like some of us have already been feeling at times these last few days, like things are on hold somehow or for some reason. There might be something that we're waiting to progress with in life. We might be waiting for information or answers or a date or something to be booked in, but it might be very slow to happen. And I feel a bit like that too with the healing energy cards, although I feel really patient about it. There is sort of this slow, just getting it over that finish line. So some of us might feel this pause, this sense of limbo, and we just have to wait. You know, there's not much really we can do but wait. And sometimes our hands are tied and we just have to wait. So that's where our patience is tested. And hopefully if we've really learned our patience lessons from a few weeks ago, if we've really learned that, then we should move into this feeling more patient and content about waiting. And we can use our waiting time to do other things. It's not a waste of time, because we can use our waiting time to perhaps catch up on rest if we are able to or need to. We can use our waiting time to heal, to prepare ourselves, to tie up some loose ends of other things that need to be done. So we can do things while we're waiting. So let's call forward that patience that we've been learning a few weeks ago, to show ourselves that we really have learned a new level of patience. Because if we're thrown into the deep end and we're thrown into having to wait again, and we become impatient like we used to be, then we haven't really learned that patience lesson that a lot of us were learning a few weeks ago. Now, moving to Saturday the 21st of January, we have the Temple of Maya, card 51. It says manifestation, revelation, and purpose. This brings structure. It highlights a building of some significance, not an everyday building we go in and out of, but something of something different potentially in regards to a building. Or this is generally about structure and finding structure in our life, or creating or highlighting that building or that structure. So what structure are you building on at the moment, or have you been building on recently, that you're trying to find perhaps more structure, more routine, more meaning, more purpose in your actual life? So this is probably going to be highlighted on Saturday, where we might find that something reveals itself, or we might even have a bit of a penny drop or an epiphany where we see what is coming together. It almost feels to me like we've been working on these different things, like half a dozen or around that different things, and somehow they come together on Saturday, and they come together, and there's a foundational feeling here, because that's what we build structure on, is solid foundations. So if we found in the past that the structures and routine we've been trying to build and things we've been trying to heal or resolve or improve about our life, the structure that we try really hard and dedicate time to building seems to crumble. A little wind comes through and the structure is just a bunch of sticks on the ground. The step we may be missing is the foundation. So creating a solid foundation is what we have been consciously or unconsciously preparing for or working on. And it's strange. I don't really know what I'm talking about here, but I can see it so clearly in my mind. And it feels like this around half a dozen. It could be 4 things, it could be 8 things. But these things that we've been doing, maybe learning about patience might be one of them. And other things we've been healing and resolving and learning recently or doing, these separate half a dozen-ish things are going to potentially come together and create the foundation. And it's that foundation that we build our structure on. And then that creates more of a stability, a stable ground to build something substantial on. So if you've found that your buildings and your structure, your routine and the improvements and the healing you try so hard to make in your life just keeps blowing over and crumbling down and doesn't stick, then I feel like it's the foundations that these foundations coming together, these energetic foundations, are what we now build the structure on, the routine, so that it sticks, so that it becomes reality, so it's not so easily blown down or blown over. So something like the foundations are probably going to be revealed around Saturday that gives us a sense of feeling more purpose or feeling more structure or meaning for us in our life. And it's from that, building the structure and routine around or on those foundations, that are going to be most helpful for us, I feel, where we can potentially build a nice strong building, a nice strong structure. So what are your foundations like? Now, a way to look at that, because it does feel a bit abstract, might be who we are, what our values are, what our ethics are, what's important to us, what do we want from life, what are our goals, what's the next doable step for us, what are our skills and our abilities, what are we potentially capable of that we could try or have a go at. Can we advance our skills? So these types of things, I feel, create a solidness, a foundation within us that we can then build upon. If you're not sure about yourself and you're feeling unconfident, then you've not really got anything to build upon, if that makes sense. Another way of looking at this that's popping into my mind are the people that do healings and readings who can't heal or read for themselves. And I don't really get that. I don't understand why some healers and readers can't heal or resolve things for themselves, and they can't read for themselves either. I find it very strange. So how can we expect to help other people as much as we can? We might help to a degree, but can we help as much as we can if we're not able to help ourselves? So that's the foundation that I'm talking about, that we then build upon to potentially help others. If we're just focused on helping others and we can't help ourselves and we have that attitude or that belief, then things are going to crumble for us very often, potentially. So if we can dedicate some serious time to healing, helping, reading for ourselves, for example, then that creates a solid foundation, the confidence in ourselves, in the confidence in our skills, because we're using it on ourselves and we see in a real practical way how that helps. Then we take that out and help others and we build that structure. We build that temple or whatever it might be. So just another way of looking at that, because it's sort of an interesting idea. Anyway, that's for Saturday. And it feels really important for the long term. So this is not just for Saturday. This is to help us move forward for the rest of the year and move forward into the years to come. So Sunday the 22nd, we have these two cards, the Medicine Pouch and the Orca Whale. So again, they've come up together for a reason. Let's look at them separately first, then we'll tie them together. So the Medicine Pouch, card 54, says resources, gather, knowledge, and collect. This is about collecting, saving, gathering resources. It tends to be about money or finances, or it doesn't have to be. It could be gathering skills, gathering information, gathering other resources like food or things that we might need to survive. But typically it talks about gathering finances, and we might need to gather or collect, or even it feels like gather and line up our resources. Let's really see what we've got to play with. What do we have available? And it's especially connected with the Orca Whale, which is card 28, and it says living your purpose. Do you need resources? Oops. Do you need resources? Do you need money in your mind to be able to live your purpose? Do you really need to have all these dollars there to live your purpose? So that would be a question maybe to sit with and see. Because sometimes the lack of finances we can use as a delay tactic in some ways, not to follow our purpose or follow our heart or follow our dreams. So the lack of finances can be a problem that we use as a deterrent, if you like. So are your lack of finances really stopping you from living your purpose? Is there another way that you could take steps to practice or learn while you're gathering or while you're saving the resources or the finances you need to take that next step? What is it that you're collecting? What skills are you learning? Are you potentially stepping into so that you can align further with your life's purpose, to feel more purpose and meaning and belonging in your life? It seems to be a bit of a highlight for the weekend. Maybe some of us might be questioning over the weekend too about what our purpose is. What do we want from life? What helps us feel a sense of purpose and meaning? I think it's important to be careful that we're not projecting our purpose as a specific thing or something too far ahead into the future. And that, to me, I found it most valuable to find purpose every day. So to wake up and look at the things that are important to me that day, finish that day and reflect on my day and see what has helped me feel that sense of purpose or accomplish my goals for that day. I'd prefer to break my purpose down into doable daily steps. If I had a purpose that I wanted to build something exotic in 10 years' time or something, I might not even live that long, in all honesty. So I don't want to have that hanging over me. I want to try and enjoy each day. So purpose might be important, especially as we approach the weekend, and what is purposeful for you and what isn't. Sometimes we spend time focusing on things that are not that important. So where are you at? What are you focusing on? And is it working for you? So Monday, the 23rd of January, and we have the Cheetah, card 4, and it says focus on your strengths. So this really comes off the back of that purpose talk. And this is talking about focusing on your strengths, focusing on the things that are working, focus on the people that are there. Focus on the things you do have access to now, rather than the things that are missing, the people that aren't there, the resources or finances you don't have. Sometimes we spend too much time focusing on those things. I think if we've got a goal in mind and when working towards it, then yes, let's squirrel the finances aside or whatever we need to get to that long-term goal, if that's something important. Like I'm thinking when I was tired of renting and I wanted to buy my own house, well, that took quite a few years of putting a little bit of money aside each week or each couple of weeks to get to that goal of saving a deposit for a house. So that is a long-term goal that's certainly potentially worth focusing on. So focus on your strengths and the things that are working for you by the time you get to Monday. And then Tuesday, the 24th, is the honeybee. And it says a short break. So maybe for Tuesday, some of you maybe need a short break to catch your breath, to take a break from the busy aspects of life. There is also this sense with this card about efficiency and making sure that we're doing the things that we are doing as efficiently as we can. So are we being efficient with our time, our energy, and again, our resources? That might be something that we're contemplating, and by the time we get to Tuesday, we might want to look at, or we might want to practice that efficiency. How can we be more efficient with our time and what we do have at our fingertips? Not what we want or what we should have or what we could have had if we went down this other path in the past. No, what we actually have access to now. So how can we use what we've got now to help us move forward, to help us feel more purpose, more sense of belonging, to create those solid foundations for us to build structure upon? So everything else we just got to try and let go of, especially regret from the past or winning the lottery. I mean, that's a very big pie in the sky, unrealistic thing to be holding on to. So let's get practical this week. Let's get hands-on with the resources we have at our fingertips now. And if we don't have resources at our fingertips that we think will be important for us, then maybe we can look at our budgets or look at learning new skills or whatever we need to do to improve things for ourselves, so that maybe in another year's time or in the future, we will have what we need at our fingertips. So what do you have to work with now in a really practical, foundational way? Let's drop the pie in the sky stuff. Let's drop the lotto stuff. Let's drop the regrets from the past stuff and really look at what's before us now. So this feels really important in a practical, real, nonsensical way. So I trust that makes sense. So let's see how the week goes. I'm going to pull a theme card in just a moment. So before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Come back and connect with this video throughout the week to get your bearings if you need to, because we won't know a lot of this stuff until the week unfolds. So coming up this week, in fact on Friday, is my next art class, online art class. We're going to be focusing on the theme of love. And my next card reading club, if you want to get a deeper connection happening with your cards, that's happening also on Friday. It's online on Zoom, and our theme is resurrection. So they are coming up, but please have a look on my website if you'd like to learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance. So let's grab our theme card. It's so nice. It's raining outside. And even though we had months of rain for the last few months, we haven't had rain now for about a month. Not one drop. My rain gauge was full of spiders and dust. So it's so nice to have the rain coming down right now. So the best card for the theme, which will tie these days together for the week of the 18th to the 24th of January 2023, is this card. It's a Speed of Light Oracle, and it's this. Oh, and this is nice. It's card 22, the Lotus Hearts, and it says Om Mantra, meditate, reconnect, and peace. This is talking about finding peace of mind this week. And I really feel like getting back to basics, getting to the things that we have at our fingertips, the things that we do have available, and being at peace with these things rather than wanting something else feels to be important, and will potentially bring forward peace of mind for us. Peace of mind and peace in our hearts. Peace, contentment in our heart and in our body. It would be a good time to meditate this week and to look at how we can reconnect to our hearts, or reconnect to a feeling of peace, feeling of contentment, which is similar to me. So it comes to the heart. It pulls us into our hearts. So bringing us into our body, into our heart, into our breath, and noticing where we're feeling lack of peace or lack of contentment can help us understand what's keeping us at distance from peace and contentment, so that we can potentially clear those obstacles out of the way and find a real sense of peace of mind, peace in our heart, and contentment. So that's our goal, our theme this week. And it does feel a bit like a goal, you know, it does feel like a goal for us to perhaps consider most days, is what is keeping me from feeling peace right now? Is it this unresolved conflict with another person? Can I reach out and try and resolve this? What is it that I can do to resolve whatever is in the way between me and peace, or me and contentment? And that's really all I've got to say. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sending you lots of love, and I trust this has supported you at this time. Have a great week. I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye for now.